Good evening, everybody. It's Andrew from All Barnum Racing. Good day's racing tomorrow as Super Saturday, as we always try to cover the racing for the weekends, as you well know. Saturdays and Sundays, if there's some good stuff to take note of. Got some selection for you. The racing comes from Wincanton, Aintree. We're also going to talk to you a little bit about O'Toy tomorrow for those that have an interest in Time Hill. He runs over there tomorrow instead of running in the UK, which is really interesting in itself. We won't talk about the Breeders' Cup. That's for people with far more knowledge around that sort of racing itself. However, I do start with a Steve selection for you today. Is on the flat at Doncaster, so I want to bring you that one and tell you that he likes King's Lynn in the 205. Money has come for this one, significant money as well. Owned by the Queen. It's just an unlucky horse. Ran in the back of a couple of good horses. In past, been running up in better company, drops down into listed class after running in group company. Everything seems to be ticking the box for this one tomorrow, and I can see this going well. Steve likes it a lot. He wouldn't put it up otherwise. I've had a few quid on just because I respect his opinion. I think it could go well for Andrew Bolden and David Probert in the 205 at Doncaster. That is enough of the flat, so for those of you who couldn't give a monkeys about it, I don't blame you. What I will do is go to the 115 at Wincanton to say Napper's Hill is obviously 4 out of 4, looking to make it 5 out of 5 tomorrow. He's 1 to 4 on to do so, should do it. A watching interest. I'm quite surprised he's running actually. The ground looks like it might be quite quick there tomorrow, but one to keep a note on. The first selection for Mark comes tomorrow in the 150. He likes Mick Pastor. Mick Pastor is owned by JP McManus, trained by Paul Nicholls. Interesting in this one, just to say, Tom actually put up Favour to go against Mick Pastor when Brave Man's Game come out. Now Favour's out. I think we're probably all on the side of Mick Pastor on this one. 5 to 6 now. I could see that going off 1 to 2 tomorrow, so I still think there's a little bit of room in that price if you liked it. The key to this one, small fields. He's learning all the time. Although he is 4 out of his last 4 wins, they've all been in small fields. He is needing that. He doesn't seem the most straightforward individual, but he does seem to be getting the hang of the game. And I think that Mark thinks that 5 to 6 probably is either a good accumulator or in your permutation sort of stuff tomorrow, or maybe even a good individual single bet. So that's Mick Pastor in the 150. I just want to mention Perfect Myth in the 225, the mares race there. Perfect Myth comes second last year to the White Mouse in this exact race. I backed the White Mouse that day, but it gave the White Mouse a hell of a run to the line. I think it's one of these. I'm thinking a couple of things. It might be better to catch this horse fresh. It's got a £10 claim of taking weight off, so it's back down below a mark when it did finish second, which is encouraging itself. And I just think that this one is a horse that will probably like the conditions, go well around the track, and there's very few sort of negatives to go against it. And I think 12 to 1 he's a decent bet, each way better at a price when in a race that, to all intents and purposes, looked very, very open. So that's for me Perfect Myth in that race. I'll start with Mark's got a selection of Double Shuffle in the 3 o'clock at Wincanton again. Obviously, we all know about Double Shuffle. He's been around for what seems donkey's years. He is a very durable, good stalwart for the yard, the Tom George yard. He's been in at the deep end, been running against really good horses all its life. At 11 years old, this is probably about right for this horse. I think the key to it will be going right-handed. He seems to be a much better horse going right-handed, as he's proven his last win again was at Kempton on sort of tighter tracks on good ground. He's 20 to 1. To be honest, he's no 20 to 1 shot on ability. And he's slipped down to quite an attractive sort of mark. If he still retains that love of the game and really wants to, put it in tomorrow, he could be there or thereabouts. So well worth considering. I thought that 2 that really interest me in that was Irish Prophecy and Potterman. First of all, Irish Prophecy, I thought the fitness angle would go with that one's benefit tomorrow. it highlights that he's at the top of his weight, so the racing post and all that. I mean, that's taken some, spotty teenager 10 seconds to probably write by the looks of it. He's an 8-year-old, so, at the top of his ability, is he there? I think he's threatened to look much better than he has all the way through his career so far. And he's got course and distance form. The ground won't be a problem. Hopefully he does have that fitness edge, and he can run well where some of these might just need the run or not like the ground or want running over a further trip than ideal, etc., etc. One you can't say that for is Potterman. Potterman for Alan King. He is obviously quite high in the weights. However, he's not too far above. I think, £1 higher than he was for finishing very, very close up second last year. I just think that it's one of those things. I think this race was won by, is it Present Man, won it a couple of years in a row. You do get horses that get lined up for this particular race at this time of year, and I think those are two that definitely will. But I respect Mark's opinion on the fact that Double Shuffle is probably massively overpriced. In the next is the Albarnham Racing Nap. All of us have tipped this one without talking or consulting. We're all in the camp of So Royale tomorrow. He is being backed very significantly in a race where there's a lot of potentially good horses. We've got the enigmatic Goshen in there, who I don't want to say I've given up on, but I certainly won't be looking to follow in certain races next year. I think Goshen is definitely going to be better going right-handed. However, he won the Kingwell Hurdle like an absolute machine last year, so as well. Just think that probably the ground might be a bit quick for Goshen tomorrow. It won't be too quick for So Royale. This one, to be honest, I think I'll probably tell you how the race is going to go. If it goes to plan, So Royale will cut around the inside the shortest way round. Daryl Jacob will be really brave on it, and then he'll look to pounce 2 out in between the last two, and he'll get a great lead from Goshen to do exactly that, I'd imagine. And I can see it. As long as he's fitting well after his last run, there's not that much time between. It did only run 15, 20 days ago, which I think it will. It's Stuff Silver Streak, who's a good horse in itself. So I can see So Royale going really well. All of the lads agree. Definitely one get on tomorrow. Okay, we'll move to Aintree. Where are we? At Aintree. We will move to further down the card. 140. Now, there's some horses in here that have been off the track quite a while, but one that really interests me for the Skelton Yard is Beakstown. He finished, I think it was 5th. He's been off the track forever. He finished 5th at Cheltenham in a handicap chase that was won by Imperial Aura, with Galvin in second, and he finished fairly close up 5th. I do think that this horse, off a mark of 133, is better than that. Skelton's been proven time and time this season he's getting these horses fit, well, ready to go first time out. I don't see an issue with that. You can trust them with that. They don't put them on the track unless they're fit, ready to go. He's just like Mr. Nichols is sort of, his ambassador, if you like, or his former sort of trainer himself. And I think that Beakstown could go well at a price. He's come down significantly in the market, which is a bit disappointing from us that want to get on, but still he could go well. Beakstown. In the Grand Sefton, our horse Swift Crusader from last year actually ran in this race. Didn't quite go to plan, but it's a great race. It's over the national fences for those of you who don't have a great understanding of it. So I'll start with Mark's selection. He likes Senior Citizen. I think essentially he's gone on the angle that this horse has been round here plenty of times. He knows his way round, jumps the fence is absolutely fine. He's gone over course and distance before. Yard is absolutely flying. Alan King is flying. His horses are going very, very well. And I think, although I like him, I didn't think 5-1 was a good price. I thought 5-1 was a poor price. In fact, the horse that I prefer, I actually think is a poor price as well. But I would prefer to back this horse, and that one's based on the weights anyway. That's Cat Tiger. Cat Tiger, I thought, come third in the Fox Hunters at the national meeting over course and distance again. He was in front, turning on the elbow. I think David Maxwell made too much use of him too early. He'll probably learn a lot by that, and also these horses are better, so he won't get the opportunity to pull as hard as he probably did. And I think Cat Tiger will go very, very well in this race, and could do well for both of us. And Senior Citizen, obviously, as I've said, one interesting one in there, the Fly in the Ointment, is Time to Get Up as well. Just want to mention that one. Time to Get Up for John Joe. I think he's actually favourite for the National next year. I'm pretty sure. I haven't checked that, but I think he is. Gobsmacked by this, really. Dining Trip won the Midlands National over 4 mile 2 furlongs. Looked to me as if it needed the extra 2 or 3 furlongs to get there. Time to Get Up is a dour stayer, and I just got a funny feeling that this will be too sharp for that horse, and they'll be going just too quick. The interesting thing will be if he's a bit far back and then is staying on like a train at the end. I think that'll be worth watching for various reasons. The next race that we're going to cover is the 320, the Betway Hurdle. All of the lads are on the same horse here, and that is Somerville Boy. No, I'm lying. Mark likes Brewing Up a Storm, but I'll start with Somerville Boy. The three of myself, Tom, and Steve are on Somerville Boy. I think there's one reason only. This horse I think it's won every single race first time out of it in each season. You need to catch it fresh. He seems to lose a little bit of interest when the real cold kicks in, and later on in the year, one reason or another. This is the right distance for it. 2.5 miles. It doesn't really stay like a train over 3 miles. 2 miles, it just forces his jumping errors just because he's jumping too quick. 2.5 miles, like in this trip, to be honest, at this track as well, absolutely perfect. I can see him going very, very well. Brewing Up a Storm is a really interesting runner. Horse with a lot of ability, no doubts about that. And Ollie Murphy thinks the world of him. That is unquestioned. They tried chasing with this horse, and then it didn't quite work out. They brought it back over hurdles. It had a really good campaign, winning the game Spirit at Fontwell. That's one of the better races over that distance throughout the season anyway. And then the horse went and flopped at Aintree a little bit, finishing 5th. That was a good race. So he had every right to not quite be up to that level. That's absolutely fine. This is down in a little bit of class from that. But Brewing Up a Storm could be much better than his mark even at this moment in time. He's going to need to do something quite special tomorrow to sort of put himself in the picture of some of the bigger races. You just wonder whether or not he will turn into be a nice prospect for the Stayers Hurdle at the festival. I think from the rest of them, he's the one that you'd want to take about that. Wild About Oscar improved no end last season, but this is quite deep company to him to come straight back into. And I just think that the boys are basically saying Somerville Boy, Brewing Up a Storm for Mark. And I don't think there's anything that can give you too much reason to argue that. I want to go over to Nace quickly. We've got some good racing at Nace tomorrow, so keep an eye on that. I thought Quilixios was interesting. Obviously, those who know, he was the Triumph Hurdle winner for Henry de Bromhead. Went and got beat by Ria Pose's Jeff Kidder at Punchestown. Quilixios just didn't look right that day. Go back and have a look if you want. It just didn't look right, and I just think that you can. I'm going to forgive that run. I think he's better than Jeff Kidder. Jeff Kidder has gone on a great sequence, although has been campaigned and had a couple of runs on the flat. Has run okay, to be fair. Ran pretty well in some reasonably okay handicaps, but and he'll definitely have that fitness edge for sure. But I just think Quilixios will resume its train of thought, winning tomorrow. 6-4 at the minute, not a bad price. Rachel Blackmore on board, and I think that you'll see a different horse. Obviously you got Tehupu in there as well for Gordon Elliott, who gets £7 from Jeff Kidder based on their previous meeting. I think actually Tehupu is probably the danger to Quilixios, so well worth following over Nace. That's the 12.50. If it wasn't going to be my bet of the day, if So Royal wasn't going to be my bet today, this one would be, and that's Captain Guinness. Captain Guinness finished 3rd in the Arkle, won by Shishkin. That's knocking form as far as I'm concerned. That's better than anything that any of these have achieved over over fences since, or are likely to go on to achieve. They don't look the best bunch. Felix Dejay sort of flatters to deceive. Looks like he's going to be really good at one point. Darva Star, I think they've destroyed that horse, unfortunately. Not just an opinion, but I think they've ran it poorly, poor decision making, what races it's going to run in, etc., etc. And I just think that's the one. That's the way I would say it's gone. So then that's it at Nace. I don't really want to cover anything else there. The other one I'm going to go down to, and I mentioned it at the top of this, is Auteuil. So you've got the magnificent Time Hill taking its chance over in France. I think Time Hill, he's actually my current idea of the Stayers Hurdle winner for this year. He faces a French horse called L'Autonomie, who is an absolute machine. She is, if you go back, I don't know why it says she's unraced, which is quite something, but it also says Time Hill's unraced as well. But if you go and have a look back through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, won its last 5 races, all at Auteuil, all different distances. This horse, this mare, is quite something over in France. They think the absolute world of her. Steve thinks she'll win. I'm going to tell you, I think Time Hill will win. The other guys haven't really shared anything in terms of their views, but I think Time Hill's my idea of the Stayers Hurdle winner, and I think he'll go over there and put L'Autonomie in his place in his own backyard. But we'll wait and see. Obviously going to be fit as a flea as L'Autonomie. Time Hill maybe just need that run, but still, I think on ability alone, I think that might just get Time Hill through, who won first time out last year, not needing that run. So fingers crossed that goes well. That's pretty much all we're going to cover for today. A lot of the same selections for the guys tomorrow, which is hopefully, fingers crossed, encouraging. Next week is Cheltenham. We're going to be bringing you a video, hopefully live from the track, certainly on the Friday, to cover the Saturday racing. You'll get some selections from us across the weekend, and potentially an anti-post bet for the Paddy Power, which we'll release on Tuesday this week. We just want to ensure that the horse is going to run before we put that up. But good luck whatever you're doing. Hopefully you find plenty of winners. It looks a toughish day. Let's hope we come out on top. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.